Do weather strips work for soundproofing doors and windows? Maybe, maybe not. Here's a cheaper and better alternative. What's happening, everyone? This is Dan here with yet another video for shootandwreck.com, and today I'm going to be showing you a DIY method to close the gaps in your doors and windows without using weather strips. This DIY method is going to be more efficient than these weather strips in stopping air drafts and outside noise. It's going to last a lifetime, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. So let's get started. So these are the weather strips that people tend to use for soundproofing doors and windows. These things are made of soft quality rubber. It's kind of soft and squishy, and if you have even gaps running along the entire length of your doors and windows, you just need to stick these strips and hope that it's going to prevent any air movement and seal off the outside noises. The thing is, do these things work? Yes, they do if you are trying to soundproof your bedroom for a peaceful night's sleep. However, if you're trying to soundproof your studio, it's a different story altogether. These weather strips are designed to fill even gaps of up to 6 millimeters, but the gap has to be even, meaning the width of the gap has to be the same through the entire length of the door or window. Now, we all know that buildings and doors and windows change shape over time, which actually leads to these cracks and crevices in the first place. And these cracks and crevices are never uniform. The gap you are trying to fill up with weather strips would probably have a width of maybe 2 millimeters in some areas and maybe 6 millimeters in some other areas. It's never totally uniform, and that's why these weather strips don't work so well. Secondly, your studio doors and windows would already have a lot of mass to them. You know, all that foam and all that soundproofing equipment. So it's going to have a lot of mass, your doors and windows, and you need something that wouldn't buckle under the weight of your door. These weather strips are very lightweight, and over a period of time, they tend to lose their resilience, rendering the seal ineffective, and this is especially true if you're trying to install them on heavy studio doors and windows. And finally, these things are very low on mass, so they are not that effective in blocking sound waves by themselves. Now, we all know that heavy mass is required to block sound, and this one is basically a hollow core elastic band for all practical purposes with glue on one side, and you can't expect it to act as an effective sound barrier. So what is the solution? Here's a simple DIY solution. Go to Amazon.com or your local cycle repairing shop and get yourself a couple of bicycle inner tubes, these things. These tubes are made of vulcanized rubber, the same material that's used in mass-loaded vinyl. That is known to be one of the best sound blockers out there. All you have to do is take a pair of scissors and cut open the cycle tubes. So it's a long stretch of 2.5 inches heavy-duty rubber that you can further cut down into smaller strips. Make sure to cut out the valve section. Cut out 1-inch wide strips using a pair of scissors and roll it up to form a small hollow tube. The length of the tube would be the same as the length of your door or window. Now, this rubber is very tough, so you're going to need a strong glue to stick the edges together and prevent the roll from unraveling. For that, we are going to be using this little guy here called the Gorilla Super Glue. This Gorilla Super Glue gel works great. Apply the glue on both edges of the rubber strip along the entire length and let it dry for 10 seconds before you press together the edges and turn it into a hollow tube. Once you have the tube, simply stick it to the inner side of your door frame using this same glue, and you are done. This thing is going to be 10 times more effective than your regular weather stripping because it has a lot of mass, it's way more resilient, it's heavy duty, and it is not going to crack up and become flaky when you have your AC unit running inside your studio for several hours a day, which is actually the case with these kind of rubber tubes. If there are massive temperature differences, you know, your AC unit is running in your studio and outside it's hot, these things are going to lose integrity. But these tubes, these bike tubes, are going to hold up pretty well. Yes, it is going to take a bit of work and time to cut the pieces together and glue them together, but it's going to last you many, many years, and you wouldn't have to worry about uneven gaps. This thing is going to conform to the shape of your gaps and prevent airflow 100%. So that's it. Thank you. This is Dan here signing off. I hope this has been of some help to you. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again in my next one.